Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently in Ishgard to do side quests here, because I don't think I've ever done one. At least I hadn't found anything in my episodes on the quick. And I'm doing this with Sirius here because I have no idea. I think Desiree has some quests, but not all of them. And Serena definitely already has done all of them, so Sirius is doing this just to be certain, because I know he hasn't done any of the side quests here. Anyway, we start here in the Forgotten Night with Jubilant, drinking the pain away. Hey, you there. Would you mind taking this bottle of mulled wine to the gentleman downstairs? He's a regular around here, and a rather affable one at that. But for a recent lack of employment, he's been looking to get deep into the cups. Thought I'd treat him to a mug of this today, and keep a bit of weight in his corn purse. Alright. Bibelous blow. Oh, how did this happen? I feel as if I'm trapped within some waking nightmare. What? What's this? What if I'm brilliant, that admirable bastard? That's what I need to draw my troubles. I was a knight in the service of a proud, noble family. That is, when my dear lady was accused of heresy, everything changed after that. Their prestige, their pedigree, everything was stripped away, including me. They say drinking is merely a pause from thinking. What that I could take from a bottomless muck. Nay, the only thing that stands to wash away is my dignity. Within play the drunken fool, I would like to make a gift of this to my lord. Surely this pain I bear is nothing next to his. Completely unaware that his wife had committed such heinous crimes. He's a good man, he deserves better, but it's all I can offer him now. I'm loath to impose upon your kindness further, but could you take this to him in my place? To let him see me in my current state would be disgraceful. I imagine he's still at the airship landing in the palace. Title stripped noble. Yes, can I help you with something? One of your former knights sent this. After all that has happened, he still thinks to put me first. Would that I could do more for him, but alas, I have lost nearly everything. My title, my land, my wife. She was accused of heresy, and I did all within my power to advocate her innocence. But in the end, there was naught I could do to forestall the hands of judgment. I was a man of great station, and yet I had never felt so low, so helpless. But the fury spoken to refuse her is perhaps a greater crime than those thrust upon my beloved wife. Now, if you excuse me, it is nearly time to... Where did he run off? I'm terribly sorry to trouble you, but would you help me look for my son? We cannot afford to be late. And the son. Father's searching for me, but it's time. Forgive me, Father says we leave immediate, but I had to see for myself. This way I took my mother to receive her lawless judgment. He said he would fight for her, that justice would be served. But in the end, justice took my mother away from us. Perhaps if I had been stronger, I could have won the battle, but my father did not. Well, I must be going. Goodbye, mister. Well, that sucked. The best laid plans. You have a look of someone in need of a task. Well, it just so happens I'm looking for a helping hand. One of our delivery airships is under repairs, and we're in the midst of preparing a test flight. Ensuring a safe flight path is of the utmost importance. I need someone to take this flight plan to Junkinard at the Erfindung Astrologicum. I would be ever so grateful if you could take it to him. Junkinard. Greetings and welcome to the Athenum Astrologicum. Might I ask what drew you here to this place of learning? Ah, a missive from Miss Cleo. Another test try to see, and it leaves us pressed for time. Our knowledge of a dragon's hunting cycles indicates it will be quite active around this time. I need not tell you what will happen should any of our airships encounter them. That's why our astrologians must interpret the stars for signs of Dravanian activity before airships are permitted to leave. But delaying the shipment would have grave repercussions. Our only option is to hasten repairs on the airship. Pray speak with Formalord at the Skyscreen manufacturer and see if there's aught he can do. So, it was a Sky Steel manufacturing. This is basically at the other end of Ishgard. Formalord. Hasten repairs of the airship. Easier said than done, my friend. We primarily oversee the production of dragon-slaying weapons, such as ballistas and bertha cannons under orders from House Hylenard. The magic tech utilized in these airships is most certainly not within our regular field of expertise. It's no simple matter to rush anything. But I suppose if you have to contend with a horde, it cannot be helped. Tell Claw we will do what we can. Oh, thank goodness, the swiftness of their report is most appreciated. The advent of the airship is truly a wonderful thing, but not without its hindrances, as you can see. They allow us to cross the ice wall, blocking passage to western Curvers and navigate the Sea of Clouds. But alone have mercy on the ship that should encounter dragons. That's why the Holy See has seen fit to employ machinists and astrologians in the operation of our airships. This is the Dark Knight quest. We don't want to do this today. And I already have a recording of that. How's doing their night? Mum's the word. Excuse me, you're not from around here, are you? I know this is sudden, but I have a favor to ask. I'm looking for someone to deliver a gift to a friend in Falcon's Nest. What it is, well, it's a surprise, so I can't really say. I need you to deliver it, that's all. You can pick it up from the Knight of a Brush at the Forgotten Knight. You'll know him when you see him, and I'm sure he'll recognize you as well. Okay. The Forgotten Knight. Knight of a Brush. Ah, there you are. I thought it might be you. So it's true, you're not from Ishgard? Perfect. Don't suspect a thing. Is the package good, sir? Why, don't wave it all about like that. Someone may see. Now hurry on to Falcon's Nest. You want to deliver it to Emerissal. Remember, my meeting never happened. If anyone asks, you don't know me. What are they doing? Distracting the Inquisition? Trying to bait spies? What's with that look? We don't tolerate funny business here at Falcon's Nest. If you have no business here, I suggest you move along. An oil painting depicting the fury helmed astride a dragon. Oh, my package. Happy day. I was worried my friend would not be able to get it. Now let's take a look here. A masterpiece beyond compare. The very glory of it inspired an indescribable fulfillment. A crescendo of righteous emotions. With my faith in the church renewed, my spirit cleansed by its presence. Thank you for this adventure. Remember, no must know this. Yeah. That sounds like a heretical picture. At least in old Ishgard. That is the kind of stuff you would get into trouble for. Bohemondas. Angry? Of course I'm angry. All I want is to protect my home, and those goddamn knights just sit there and scoff at the ramblings of an old man. Ramblings my ass. Have you heard what has become of Vulcan's Nest? Most folks there came to Ishgard to keep out of the cold. I know they plan to tear it all away and make a military encampment of it. Bloody military encampment! What's worse, my son is enlisted to help. The little shite refuses to listen, and I'm tired of trying to reason with him. If you see that slimy, backstabbing varlet, tell him he can come back to his family or not come back at all. Hello, Jesselo. Oh, yes, I'm Jesselo. He said, what? My father's short-sightedness knows no bounds. He fails to see what we stand to preserve by creating this encampment rather than leaving it abandoned to the snows. As the name suggests, Falcon's Nest is well known for its skilled falconers going back generations. While it's true the astrologians can sense horde activity through the stars, it's always been us who give first alert of their approach. But things changed after the calamity. The weather turned foul and we had no choice but to seek better shelter. I know it would pain him to abandon Falcon's Nest. It's my home too, but he has to understand that even if our home has to change, it does not change who we are. The proud hawkers of Falcon's Nest will live on, and I will prove it to him. When the day comes for him to return here, the earth beneath him may seem unfamiliar, but our companions gliding proudly through the skies will be as they always have, and always will be. This I swear. Alright. Fearing Ellison. Remembering Ishgard. I take it by your garb you're not from here, am I right? The sights of our city must be quite a spectacle. It's a place rich with history. A story for every brick that paves our streets or frames our hearths and homes. There's much to learn of Ishgard. I suppose I can teach you a thing or two, if you care to listen to this old man's tales. Pray, meet me at St. Renat's Forum. Ah, so you've come to partake of my company, huh? Well, then let's start with the statue which stands before you here. This is Saint Renat, a dragoon of great renown said to have wielded gay bulk. According to legend, a dragon slew her beloved and naught but its blood could atone for what she lost. After much searching, she confronted the beast, and that would be the last time she wielded a lance. Upon exacting her revenge, they say she cast a sign on the ground where the dragon was felled, taking up the cloth in its place. From then on, she devoted her life to uplifting the poor and downtrodden. I dare say there's never been a man or woman so selfless as she in our history, and so the Ark of the Humble was constructed, that we should never forget her sacrifices. It's perhaps worth mentioning that we of Ishgard take great pride in the works of masonry adorning our streets. We'll come to find figures of great esteem and respect immortalized in some fashion at nearly every turn. Now then, let us move on to St. Valorant's Forum. I shall await you there. This is, however, was the statue of Saint Valorant, an Azure Dragoon of ages past who once drove off a great worm Nidok. Surely a third of the Azure Dragoon, chosen by the Eye to lead Ishgard's dragoons in the fight against the Dravanian horde. But alas, much like this one, a number of statues in our fair capital have been defaced during a recent attack. But we could ever forget in whose name they were erected, mind you. In fact, One could say these disfigurements are like a badge of honor earned from a clash with our enemy. Quite remarkable, won't you agree? History being made of history, I'd say. I'm afraid that's all I have to tell of our dear city, but that glimmer in your eye tells me you wish to know more. Pray speak with Ordweg Gillane at St. Raymond's Cathedral. I have no doubt he can regale you with another tale of Ishgard's history. Ordweg Gillane. Greetings, friend. Aloni's blessings be upon you. Ah, you wish to know more of Ishgard's history? It is not often travelers come seeking such knowledge. The holy see of Ishgard is home to myriad patron saints, for which many places are named. In fact, this cathedral was named for the first archbishop to oversee the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. They are a testament to the unshakable will of our people, to our unity in battle against the Devarnian horde. I realize there's much of our people you do not know, and we would not force our views upon you. Rather, we ask you not to decry our pursuit of our destiny. The righteous path we walk by the grace of Alone, our truest savior. Alright. Okay, languid noblewoman. Ah, how woe is me. My dear brother has disappeared. He left the house without so much as a word and never returned. I'm ever so worried. I don't know what to do. I've searched him high and low, but there's simply no sign of him. He must have left the holy seat altogether, but he has no friends outside the city. The only person he knows is Redwald at Falcon's Nest. Please, if you happen to see Redwald, ask him if he knows what's become of my brother. I'm ever so worried. Please tell him how worried I am. I'd make the journey myself, but I know I wouldn't last a minute out there in the wild. And once more in Falcon's Nest, Sir Redwald. Our brother, yes, he's here in Curthus. I last saw him at the Convictory. He's in an utterly foul mood. The lad is of noble blood, but with two older brothers, he is hardly first in line for the inheritance. He came out here to secure his own future by earning fame and glory slaying dragons. So, noble youth. This place shall be the death of me. Whatever made me think I could survive out here? It's utterly freezing, and I have to stoke the campfire myself? What poor joke is that? Where are the servants? Yes, she's my sister. Why do you ask? She is worried for you. She's worried about me? I think she just misses having me around to boss about. Like hell am I going back. I full well intend to stay here and make a name for myself as a renowned dragon slayer. Then we'll see who's bosses who around. Alright. Good, but let's return to Ishgard. Here on Hard Times. The Temple Knights are recruiting. It has long been my dream to join their ranks, and soon I shall make it reality. I've told myself I would give anything to be a Temple Knight. But one of her rules gives me pause. We are forbidden from marrying while undergoing training. Hearing of this brought to mind a promise I made long ago. Given to flights of fancy and romance, as children want to be, I promised the girl that we would marry when we came of age. I was just a boy, and to be honest, I cannot even remember her name. But I worry she may still be waiting for me. All I can recall is that she was a ward of House Highlandard. I realize the chances are slim, but I ask that you find her. Tell her she need not wait for me any longer. I could not bear knowing a girl wasted her life waiting for the impossible. Good, then the last vigil. A ward taken into House Highland as a child? You asked as though there'd be only one. Sorry to say, but my lord has taken in more than I care to count. It will not be easy task sorting through a lot of them with so little to go on. Also, if we're speaking strictly of ladies recently come of age, that may narrow things down some. The first would come to mind is Lady Lanyard down at the Rose House. She might be able to steer you in the right direction. Ladies of House Highland of age with me, I suppose that could only be Marielle. But you say as a child you promised to be wed? I've heard no such thing. At any rate, you must talk with her yourself to know if she's the one you seek. Okay, Marielle. Huh? A promise of marriage. Now that you mention it, yes, I do believe I made such a promise. But I was just a child who would think to remember such thing after all these years. Besides, I've sworn to serve Lady Lanyard. My only concerns now are fulfilling my duties and the protection of Camp Cloudtop. Whoever this boy is, he need not worry of old forgotten promises. What? Two quests, okay. Dinner for 4. Excuse me, adventurer. I would ask a favor of you on behalf of House Fortons. My lord is hosting a banquet and requests attendance from the other high houses. Take these invitations and see they are delivered at once. Of course, you will likely not be granted an audience with the lords and ladies of the high houses. Leaving these to the guards will do, but they must be delivered. What business have you with House Highlandard? An invitation by House Fortons to be delivered to your lord. Invitation to dine with House Fortons. My lord would be honored to attend, but I'm afraid he's quite busy at present, what with a breach of Ishgard's defenses and rising heretic activities. I can't rightly say he's too busy though. That's for him to decide. You have my word, this invitation will be delivered. House Desmail. This is residence of House Desmail. If you have no business here, I must ask you to leave. I'm here to bring an invitation. A banquet hosted by House Fortons. I see. Oh, it's nothing. It's just, my lord has been tied up with restoration of Falcon's Nest. I imagine making time to attend will be difficult. Nevertheless, I will see to it he receives the invitation. And House Doran sits awkwardly. I don't think I could have jumped. What business brings you to House Doran? Speak up. An invitation by the Lord Fortoms. A dinner with House Fortoms. And whose favor do they aim to gain this time? Not that it concerns you, but House Durandare and Fortoms don't exactly see eye to eye. Little wonder they would ask you to deliver this missive. But far be it from me to exacerbate matters. The invitation will be delivered. What my lord does with it is not my concern. Ah, and so you have returned. I hope you are not met with too much hostility. The high houses of Ishgard are descended from the heroes who once fought alongside Haldrath, the first Azure Dragoon. Their ancestors were the founders of Ishgard, and it's from their bloodlines the Archbishop is chosen. There's no force greater than their combined strength when pitted against the Horde. When vying for power here in Ishgard, however, they are like girls fighting for territory in a small pit. To involve yourself in politics here is a dangerous game. You do well to remember that. An unwanted delivery. I look worried? Nonsense. Why would I have anything to be worried about? Okay, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. Dr. Mannerlane requests I deliver a missive to Lady Lanyard at the Rose House. I remember him specifically mentioning that failure would not be tolerated. It is a simple task, yet the thought of something going awry has my stomach in knots. I'm loath to thrust my duties upon another, but would he be willing to deliver this missive? I cannot afford to take chances. Surely men of your talents can see the deed done without fail? Please, you're my only hope. God, back to Camp Cloudtop. And a letter from Mannerlane. Ah, seriously, looking well, but what brings her here to Cloudtop? If there's aught you require, you need only ask. If the sickly sweet words of eternal love contained within this missive are not enough to induce nausea, the copious amount of rose oil applied to the parchment most certainly will. Rose oil? A letter from Lord Mannerlane. I'm terribly sorry about this. I never imagined he would attempt something so shameless. I'm afraid to say he's always been like this. House Highland and House Fortoms have always maintained good relations, and as such, those close in years often spend time together from an early age. I spent much of my youth playing together with Lord Mannerlane, but now I fear he still clings too tightly to memories of our youth, though I admit it is sometimes to my benefit. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same of Torsiphus. No doubt he asked you to come in his place. I can sympathize with his anxiety over upsetting Lord Mannerlane, but there's no way to treat a guest. Please accept this as a token of my apology. I realize it's not much, but it's all I can offer at present. Mathieu. Landing a stable job. Gives a Fafnari an onion, which allows you to increase the maximum level of your chocobo. What's this? Looking for a bit of work, are we? You don't look to be one strapped for coin, but I never turn away anyone looking to make an honest gill. Would you mind taking a sack of chocobo fodder down to the Holy Stables and Foundation? The stablemaster Sevilla is expecting the delivery. She paid me up front, but fear not, that was merely for the fodder. There's still a delivery charge, and you're welcome to it if you take the fodder down there for me. Actually, I have to manually grab it. Sevilla. Welcome to the Holy Stables. What can I do for you? I'm to deliver chocobo fodder. Over further, splendid. The chocobos are in for a treat. We specialize in the breeding and training of cavalry chocobos, so we must have nothing but the very best. They are put through an admittedly harsh training regimen, and only a chocobo of the finest stock can endure it. That's why my assistant and I... Wait a second, where is my assistant? No doubt he's run off to the light feather proving grounds again. Would you be a dear and get him for me? Tell him to expect chocobo fodder for breakfast if he doesn't hurry. Looking for who? Oh, the stableman. He went inside not too long ago. Stableman. Yes, this is a separate zone, the arena. Hello there, come for a few matches as well, I take it? Ah, have you ever seen anything so exhilarating? There's nothing in this world more majestic than the chocobo. Spirited and resilient with plumage kissed by the golden sun. They are my passion, and I long to someday breed the perfect chocobo. Unfortunately, I work at the holy stables, or I'd never have the opportunity. Yeah, and your boss is pissed at you for not being there. Sevilla is looking for me. Bugger me with a hay fork. Before they must have arrived, the matches will have to wait. Thanks for the tip, friend. I think a bit strange that this is a separate zone. Because there's almost nothing there. And it's almost never used. He practically tripped over himself running in here not long ago. Thank you for finding him. Ah, you have to buckle down. If he's serious about becoming a well-renowned breeder, though he's off to a good start having come here. Ishgard is famous for raising chocobos, you know? They've always been the steed of choice on the battlefield. The proving grounds where you found my starry-eyed assistant, and sure, they get plenty of practice. Well, I say it's practice, but it also makes a good show for folks spectating as well. You'll see for yourself sometime. Nothing like feathers flying from two chocobos fluttering, almost dancing, back and forth in the arena. You'll quickly come to understand why they call it the light feather proving grounds. And as long as the stable stands, you can be sure our chocobos will be there. I confess the weather has been more than unkind to our chocobo chicks, but we have traditions and a reputation to uphold. Onions. And just spread a little cheer in Ishgard. Well, aren't you a sight to behold? Rose to your cheeks and a glimmer of optimism besides. Seems everywhere else I turn, people are sullen and weary-eyed, trudging about as if the world's gonna end. Times are tough, to be sure, but they're being a bit dramatic if you ask me. What we need is some cheer, something to warm their hearts and bodies in spite of this blistering cold. I think I got a recipe that'll cure what ails them, if you're willing to help. If you see people sulking or surly or spoiling for a bout of fisticuffs, show them a bowl of viscous soup, and send them this way. As I always say, the surest way to the heart is through the stomach. So, offering food for the people. Wailing Widow. First the cold, biting winds of Curvers drove me from my home, and now the war has taken my dear husband. I don't think I can go on alone. Ma'am, taste some soup. Maybe it won't bring your husband back, but it might help the mood. Is that a bowl of soup? A warm meal would surely help calm my nerves. I think I have some. You haven't listened to a word I said, you goddamn pig-headed oaf! I cannot expect to maintain public order if no one abides by the law. All I'm saying is the rules are too damn strict. Quit bluffing about the obvious and listen with those gargantuan Ellison ears, or else your head too bloody thick to understand. What did you say? Have some food and relax. How about I... What is that smell? We've been arguing for so long I'd forgotten how famished I am. You say there's soup by the holy stables? I suppose I could also do with a warm meal about now. My thanks for bringing word of his generous offering. Starveling. It's so cold. I'm so hungry. I wish my mom was here. There's food by the holy stables. That looks awful tasty, mister. But I don't got money. You say it's free? Oh boy, I hope there's some left for me. And also... House Fortum's Knight? And that was Highlander's Knight, huh? Sometimes I wonder why I bother with you. All this whinging will solve nothing. Do you not grow tired of this war? The endless bloodshed? How long must we suffer, offering up our lives to a cause that has all but forgotten its purpose? Watch your tongue. Our purpose to protect the people of Ishgard and see that the horde is wiped clean from the realm. Forgive me, I'm merely tired as all. Are you interested in some soup? Soup, huh? A nice warm meal is certainly one way to lift my spirits. You say it's near the holy stables. With that settled, let's go and have ourselves something to eat. And all the people are sitting here. Welcome back. You did well rounding up all these folks. Been a while since I've seen anyone this cheerful. What? Don't matter how angry you are, if you think the world's against you, sometimes you gotta let it go. I find that a little soup helps bring folks together and move things along. So it would appear. The widow and the orphan? I think it's an orphan. It was an orphan because mother was missing. How about you, friend? You look like you had a few rough days yourself. Why not sit a spell and help yourself to a cup? Sure, I'd love to. Dalmai fricassee. And... bricked. Cold days, colder nights. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any spare wood for a fire? Small bundle or even a few twigs would do. Of course not. As if a bundle of sticks could warm the hands of so many. The dragons have left foundation in shambles. Countless men and women are without shelter and a bit chill of death breathing down their necks. I fear some may not even live through the night. I implore you, please speak with Ryan Kennett and the congregation. Tell them we must have firewood for the citizens here in the room. Wine Canet. Yes, is there aught I can help you with? I see. I am hardly blind to the plight of my people, but firewood is something of a commodity these days. I cannot hand it out freely as I might otherwise. However, I may have a solution. During the most Travanian assault, a number of buildings were destroyed. I thought it a grave misfortune, but there may yet be a silver lining. The timber we collected from those buildings is unfit for reconstruction. You may take as much as you like to the room. Did Vine Canet consent to aid us? Was there any wood to spare? My word, this is... I don't know what to say. How did he amass such quantities? No matter. Go and distribute this to the people down below. We must do what we can before this cold claims any more lives. It's so cold, I cannot feel my hands anymore. Splintered, knotted, cracked, worm-eaten, mouldering. This wood is no longer suitable for aught but maintaining a fire. Wood for a fire? Oh, thank you, sir, thank you! What I wouldn't give for a bit of kindling. Firewood? For me, truly. So let's do what they say about asking and receiving. Thank you. I can bear this cold no longer. Perhaps I should make a fire. Firewood? Bless you, sir, bless you. Search for others in need of scrap wood. Asali? It's cold. Very cold. Firewood? Oh, hello and be praised. My, that's quite a load of timber there. Surely you don't mean to distribute it all by yourself? Let me handle that for you. It's the least I can do to repay your kindness. Leave it to me. I know these streets like the back of my hand. Folks will be warming themselves all along these streets in no time flat. Thanks again, mister. Well, be seeing you. You do our patron saints proud. Now then, let us take what remains somewhere safe. Or the young Ellison girl offered to ration out the rest for you? Afraid to say you've been duped. She's a thief and rather well known in the room. She bears no ill will, but this is a fair deal more serious than her usual antics. These are hard times, and understand how destitution drives one to desperation. But we cannot afford to tolerate her selfish actions, not now. I pray no one shall want for warmth tonight, but we must recover the firewood and soon. Any continuation here? I don't see it. Caught in the act sounds about right. The trap is set. All I can do now is wait. Oh, are you not the new ward of House Fortums? The city is practically buzzing with talk of you. I don't suppose you could spare a moment? A thief has been pilfering the profits of merchants here at the Jeweled Crozier. Get me to flush him out. I placed 3 sacks of counterfeit coins about the lane as bait. Could you check to see if any are missing? Okay. One trap? The sack of counterfeit coins has been taken. This sack is still there. This also. It looks as though they've taken the bait. Excellent. What they've likely failed to note, however, is a hole in the bottom of the sack. Not a gaping hole, mind you, just large enough for a coin or two to trickle out as they flee to their hiding place. Let's follow the trail and see who's behind all this. So, what? Here's a coin. Coin. It's just up here, but so far. Well, there's a coin. Back there is a coin. And here's a girl. What? What are you giving me that look for? Is it a crime to stand around minding my own business? Leave me alone. What? I thought the point was to catch her. Not to get the counterfeit coins back. So what did you find at the end of the trail? A child. A young girl, you say? No doubt she's the thief from the broom I heard so much about. I can't imagine the pain she must feel alone in the world at a time such as this. My heart goes out to her, it truly does. But stealing is simply inexcusable. If she's as clever as people claim her to be, she will know not to try something so foolish again. Alright, bricked. Unfulfilled Dreams. Do you remember Osole, the girl who deceived you for our firewood? I don't mean to alarm you, but her body was found this morning, huddled in a corner of a broom, where her life was snuffed out by the cold of night. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. Contemptible though her actions have been, I won't deny that she was good at what she did. That she could not afford firewood or even shelter for the night is unthinkable. How could this have happened? Word travels fast in the boom, and news of this greatest thief's passing has likely reached the taverns by now. See what you can glean from talking of the forgotten knight. Failing that, you may find a clue among her belongings down the room. That very little pickpocket. I didn't talk to her so much as she stopped to hear my grunting. Can't say I recall hearing that name though. I had just returned from Camp Cloudtop and she overheard me griping about the place. She practically hung on my every word. Not that I had much to say. There's practically nothing to do there. Tending the crops, hours of mindless surveillance duty. The only thing to fear there is a slow, painful death from boredom. But anyway, the kids started to bother me after a while, so I thought they would get lost. So she wanted to go in the direction of Cloudtop? And probably need an airship ticket or something? Or she wanted to sneak aboard a ship? Or I doubt she could. You find a sack filled with Ossoli's belongings. Among them you discover a sizable amount of gil and recruitment flyers for Camp Cloudtop. I believe for someone who is struggling every day, what the knight was griping about, nothing to do except menial work, must sound heavenly. I see, so the poor child was looking to find peace in the sea of clouds. In light of all that has befallen Ishgard, I cannot blame her. She was made an orphan long ago by the war, and the attacks by the Horde only grow more terrifying. A land free of dragons must have seemed a paradise to her. But dreams will guard no one from the chill of night. If only she had reached out to someone, anyone at all. Would that I could turn back the hands of time. It saddens my heart to know she will never see her dreams made reality. Or perhaps a way we can honor her courage. Would you take her things to Camp Cloudtop and set up a small memorial of sorts? Alright. You place Ossoli's belongings in the shade of a large flowering plant. A young girl's laughter seems to echo on the breeze. Thank you, friend. While her life was filled with hardships, perhaps now she will find peace on the hereafter. But no child should have to pay such a high price to know peace, and I believe there will come a day when the dawn rises on an Ishgard free of war. Good, but I think that was all I wanted to do today. Until next time then, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, or maybe something else. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.